Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. It's a beautiful day. God is good. January 20th, 2023. January 2023. Salon people, before we even talk today about the issues that we want to discuss, of course, all man, I believe so, either auditor general. The one we don't even qualify for do the job right now as Sierra Leone. When I know area where they talk, say how we audit the office of the president and the vice president, but you don't actually audit them because they're not in the. But we can discuss that one day. And then when I listen to the BBC report of Umaru Fofana, it's very touching. We discuss that. But before we even go any further, we want to take this time today. We're happy for the pass through certain forums, especially forums where people that are very patriotic, love country, like Salon, then they celebrate birthdays. We can kind of yeriam, over the passing. And we say, for pay attention, at least, they'll recognize them people. We don't say birthday means a lot to a lot of people. You don't get nothing for give us yourself, but you recognize saying I'm birthday, you tell us happy birthday, you pray for them. It can be a blessing, they can be very appreciative of stuff like that. And nobody really appreciates that day when I'm birthday. If you wish and say happy birthday, my brother or my sister. So that's a big thing. So we don't say, not all tell we for do not all man we go do for specifically. But we be say we read we own brother and sister, them birthday them. And one of such this with brother is Abdullahi Sise. And Abdullahi Sise is a student of the by Kuruma University of Science and Technology. One for wish happy birthday. Let God bless them. Let God continue for guide them. Let God make you, continue to get a sense of patriotism, a sense of nationalism, where, a loyalty not to the state, not to, entire political party. Let him continue to be a good citizen one for seeing country go before. And also we get what we other sister, it's a sister Yayo. Himself, they celebrating birthday over the weekend. Let God, continue for guide and protect them. Let God continue for make, get what they look for, especially they say they will sister and then some country the way, things are not all right, human rights abuses and all that stuff they need. But let God, I'm getting the sense for people for survive and make a way out of where there seems to be no way. So one for which they with sister and brothers, they happy birthday, and everybody else want to celebrate birthday. You have favorite listeners. We want for wishing happy birthday. Come in, Kashi. Kashi, come in.
Yeah, Kashi, come in.
Thank you. Ibrahim and comment. You see, one thing where I can just say, some of them people people can say, oh yeah, Ibrahim Cashbox, comrade Quetta People's Power, they're doing extremely well. But we get people out there where they do more than. Ibrahim Sitem, we can spend like an hour, talking about the issues. Yes, I know we do lots of research like behind the scene and all that, but you have people that sacrifice, sharing our audios. And we, again, Ibrahim, anybody with like one week we wish a happy birthday and all that, and they reach out, we will do it. And we just want to say like a very happy birthday to this young man, Ibrahim, like this young man, when it quotes the Constitution these days, like Ibrahim, trust me, what you guys are doing or what
we are doing. We are collectively, yes, sir, we are.
You see, like honestly, we go feel say now this community will say the last time, little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. We are getting somewhere. We are building a generation, Ibrahim.
Absolutely.
And like he said, I think like now the EBK University of Science and Technology, I think he's in the Podloko university or so. We just want to say thanks for everything and a very happy birthday, and may God continue to bless you, make you grow up for be this patriotic citizen, as you say, Ibrahim.
Right.
And know your rights that are country, the waiting the Constitution bestowed to you, and may God make we country you able to see the better of Salon where you born. And to we sister Yayo, I don't say you birthday na tomorrow. We just want to wish you a happy birthday. May God bless you. May God give you what you to look for. May God make you kind of like see, the better of your beginning, your family. We wish you all the best. Bless you.
Awesome. Come in.
Let me start with Yayo Kashi. Yayo, I want to say we know the personal tell for those who they do. who said they follow now keenly and would encourage, would expect follow get a meaningful society, Ibrahim. No matter what important they do, important for post Salongo before. Because if people are doing a student, then time they take for studying and they listen audios, they learn from audios the way they make, it's a tap to our shoulders. Apply wanted to continue for encourage you. Pay attention to education, like what make you come out flying colors as you did at the university. We know the university struggle, Ibrahim. Equally, Ibrahim, today you get me small brother MFA birthday. This opportunity here. For which I'm happy birthday. She's a wonderful lady.
Absolutely.
Woman way, a very, very, very wonderful. Every other man can wish for get that kind of woman day. Who's one things opportunity on behalf of this platform, for which you a happy birthday. May God continue for strengthening them, married and make. Then we'll able get more to make you get more picking them for, because when Africa is alone, to be specific, who believe in picking them. But truly, she's a wonderful lady too, Ibrahim.
Absolutely, want to wish her very well. We appreciate her. Our brother is a very lucky man, I'm sure. He's excited. So happy birthday to you, young lady. Will God continue to guide and protect you and give you everything that you desire in this life. Thank you for holding our brother down. Thank you for holding the family together. God bless you, my sister. God bless you. Beautiful day, comrade. Beautiful day, comrade. Let's take a hand. Anyway, sorry, me people. Let's cancel with message. There are a couple of messages we're going to deal with. But we'll begin with this so-called Auditor General, where we all know, say, first of all, lady premise, and not qualify for the Auditor General at Sierra Leone. And we know, say, the only Auditor General will get the Lara Telopias. But then pull that at Telopias because the president want for hiding thievery and corruption. So he puts this guy as a stooge where he don't take today parliament and not go through parliamentary approval. So all we know, this particular guy not qualified for the Auditor General. But when they take him for what it is, and then come they show him face, they come talk baku. Some people we want to listen to this. And want to listen to this. And comrade, introduce this audio before I even play them. You get a lot of thoughts when you talk about tribalism and everything. Go ahead with your flow. Before I even play the audio, let people hear it. Set the pace for me, comrade.
Did I forget to the extra point, Ibrahim?
Oh, you know some of the PPRC or the next or this Auditor General guy.
You will play the which one you will play first?
Oh, okay. You know what? Let me touch. You want to touch the Auditor General first because
Yes.
saying very sensitive because the Catholic PPRC chairman, the Catholic. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Comrade, I know you get your flow about this whole thing with the Auditor General. This particular guy who I don't lay the premise first of all. With tribalism don't permeate with society. Now this we say, we call for an ethnic audit. We don't call members of parliament. We don't call the opposition leaders them. We see in Sierra Leone today, you take the military, the police, the heads of these institutions, them, the security services, all mende tribalism. When you call them out, they say, hey, don't call mende people them. But these guys are all mende, one tribe dominance that we country. We have to call it out for what it is. That mende all the way through, good for we country. Look, the people in the suffer in that country, they not to come on, but then they give themselves bad name because of tribalism and nepotism. And we see the effect. Now with somebody like this, we see the last institution where people for standing there with democracy. After all kind of you can say, now to check we and pull Bangana fire for the Auditor General. Now we see now the last report, the last institution of Sierra Leone. It don't finish. These guys don't destroy the last institution when at the Auditor General office. When you listen to this guy, you hear it tribalism. You see the effects of tribalism, nepotism, what it does to our society. 1967, 64 to 67, Albert Magai, we bring come tribalism and nepotism, go against other tribes. They make all the bad laws they will see. Go ahead, comrade.
If you are ready, I don't get the point where the PPRC chairman they talk.
Okay, when they catch this Auditor General, now listen to the PPRC chairman because before we play, that lady the spade back now. The PPRC chairman, God don't come up behind them. This guy might have let out the cat before the horse. When they say might have, because it's not happened yet. So when they say it might have, it don't, maybe, It don't can tell we what we expect or what we for expect from the Supreme Court at this particular point in time. Now I make we say come requester, let people listen for understand, not for listen no more for yeri. Listen for understand, pay attention to a message, get the context of the message. Now you will make una can listen. Una listen to this. Come requester, go ahead and play. Una listen to this.
If you are not functional as a political party, then you cannot present a candidate for an election. And this is why all of our efforts now in the PPRC, they are all geared towards assisting political parties from any nation say that they will comply with what in the law say, and from any way will constitute their organs then so that they will be in a position for fielding political parties and is subject to what the Supreme Court will say, particularly so now when we have a proportional representation, system of election. And I think there is a need for political parties from any functional subject to what the Supreme Court will say, particularly so now when we have a proportional representation, system of election. And I think there is a need for political. We are going on gradually. We are quite a number of them from beginning come to it. Not everybody.
I don't repeat them for the people that know more say not to promoting.
Thank you.
We say. Now make I repeat that proposal representation to them. Let them understand say what we have been saying over the years that the election they go with how they may not plan them under the PR system. We picked that long ago for more than push the local council election. Say they want to do all together. We say no. The number one beginning for local problem as a low election, where they combine them to election there. Because the local council election, now for don't show SLP then the exit road, just like what happened in 2004. SLP then get the exit road, but not in 2007. They have the exit road in 2004. When we have the local council election, the first local council election after the war, we will get them. When the opposition APC party win all the councillors then at the feet on the north and the northwest, and to, by extension to partner the east, not to be specific. Now they didn't know say the world cannot say this government don't lost. They don't lost the grounds. They don't lost everything, including the way they get Tijankaba, with all the reason we've been getting them, all the working influence we've been getting at the world. They say no, SLP for go. Because Ibrahim, let me tell you something. The local council election, then they call them American midterm elections, where they show the level of the people if they're happy with you or they're not happy with you. Now make like after every 4 years, when I make local council election, the 5 year presidential election. So any party will win the local council, they determine the fate of the presidential election. Madabio and the government, there will no say if that happen, even na Kailan Ibrahim or na Kenima or na Bo with respect for the APC for when they sit them. Ibrahim will just see just after 20th election, the SFP lost a council of state na bond district na Madabio in home to 7. So imagine by then they cement na 42,000. Then the rest na 200,000. Then they fear na 6,000 still. They lost na bond. Imagine now we BC. Cement don't go 140, 160 na the southeast. Rest don't go 600,000. Imagine now, Ibrahim, if we bring a local council election, this 2022 last year, we said this thing, we took note of these things. So now the PRC to them, they say they expunge in parliament. Now we do addition out from the PRC chairman, the way they regulate political party activities, they don't can compare to we. This I got come over Ibrahim, so it just come on a mortal like bullet. So all the arguments to them, they say when we go to PR system, they don't expunge in parliament don't do so. Look at the answer now today.
Absolutely.
We are going with the PR system. So what we expunge, meaning each and every member of parliament, so then they deceive the country, meaning they all don't commit treason as what Abbas been say. You see, because if you alter or you pull even full stop at the constitution or comma, you don't commit treason. Yeah. All of them, Ibrahim, will be have a Lukabu and AKK then can our platform, then tell me, then say they no go do them, then they expunge them, and we see they say no expunge the PR system. We say that lie. They say no expunge the NI number, we say that lie. The NI number can't to pass. They use, they not just use it turn out a mandatory condition for them to register. We begin to talk about the PR system. See, hey, we don't start so on and no who select for go by. They say not possible to expunge and the PRC chairman don't can confirm it to see that then they will go by. Ibrahim, imagine now the matter in the Supreme Court. So matter of fact, Ibrahim now waste of time. Now waste of time. Because that man, not to say a check man, if they hold PRC chairman, Ibrahim, they can't tell you say then they use the PR system now they use for law going to election where the matter in a court. Imagine they just interview and this APC the lower level election. They don't confirm and say this the matter in a court. So what's in it to go to court for Ibrahim?
You know, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, go ahead, Ibrahim.
No, come on, finish your thought.
You know, we say now we say this. No, now we come point time from the way they want to court to say no. This court where they go so now for can clear the head. Now from let them make say then they listen to people them.
Thank you.
We say now one great sitting and whatever sit down. We take it Ibrahim from where they go. Take it don't know nothing again.
Thank you.
So that means what he make then they waste this country money for set up the thing and they Ibrahim for pay judges them. They know say when I already know so when I don't get on a plan. Because Ibrahim, any citizen don't they pay judges them, then go make money for the why they waste the country resources. The plan don't go through. There is no need again. This anybody who gets sense now, for even ask questions. For ask questions because the matter go na Supreme Court now for interpretation of Ibrahim. There's one go interpret truthing in the law. Waiting for make 2 weeks. Waiting for make 3 weeks. When I just for interpret one great part of the constitution to do control, one great section and say for interpret. What he say. Then they don't make so from when they move and they make and the broadcast and today. Now God don't make or don't get from an authority, state authority, a senior citizen, somebody to control one of the most important institutions that's alone at the political party regulatory commission, Ibrahim.
Absolutely.
Then say we are going with the provincial representation, the PR system. Now we go out. Even gets a second thought. Say we might. He say we go with them. Say we might go. If you say we must go with them, that one is okay.
Yeah.
But say we go with them, who say the case in a court.
Right.
If can make us say we go with them, hey boy Ibrahim, that man did not follow. That man is an educated man, not a lawyer. If somebody be say not to a show of 40 the talk. If I say we might go with them because the case in a court, we don't know if it will happen.
Yeah.
But if you measure the court case where they don't care go apply upon the filing for say for happen, you see now they go with. So they don't confirm Ibrahim. What would they have to wait for?
Absolutely.
What would they have to wait for? Why they deceive? Why they keep fooling Sierra Leoneans? Why they go talk say no response until the parliament, no say the next one the parliament? Ibrahim, there is nothing to do with that. They don't fit in the parliament, you know go through it. We still say them go fit na parliament have been too many say for census. They say they lay after census go ahead. Unprecedented census. President can't say he get tremendous support from parliament for like go ahead with the census. You see so many things, but this is the most important one. How we get a constituency exist, then we go into PR system. How we will change election law 6 months, less than 6 months to election. Ibrahim, you cannot even less than 1 year. Because this PR system come, the way President as long you go for the election, now we'll get this restriction. We will talk about PR system. How do we change the law? Even by a low law, they say you need to change election law with less than 1 year to election. Ibrahim, this is less than 5 months to election. How do we change the laws? We will get constituency that exist because based on the constituency that exist, everything I make President they announce the dates for election.
Absolutely.
If you're not sure of everything, when you get all the I need to announce date for elections.
Absolutely.
Now the tell say no, they're not explain that. Not to be this sort of topic. You can just remind that because we have been saying these things.
No, we stretch this one to the small. We stretch as small.
Things should matter. Let's fix our eyes on the ball. No, the tell Ibrahim we say let's Ibrahim if he's an nice the ball. If you watch the ball, you know what is you will post the kick. You know the score.
Yeah, don't know what the stretch small and the stretch as
small. The ball. Put your eye on the ball. Put your eyes on the ball. Not to music they sing. Ibrahim, if I for sing music dance, we all enjoy the enjoyment. But this is get for do with people in life, people in future.
Come in.
Let's
take this thing here by level, by strata. You see, you mentioned parliament and everything. I make up say let you finish your thought here. You see, the census is waiting and guys they want for bank on the SLPP, the judiciary and everything. That is what they want to bank on, say because they don't complete the census and parliament approve the census. This census where the World Bank tell we say they're not a support the census. The European Union come out and condemn the census. They say the census is unprecedented. And the president come and tell we say get unprecedented support from parliament, this parliament. Then go ahead and pass the census. They approve the census. And SLPP and the judiciary, we know the game when they play. They want for use the census as their linchpin for saying I make they use the proportional representation system. Then you look where they know for do the boundary delimitation. They say wait August 10 make the know for do boundary delimitation. And boundary delimitation they get 2 years for complete term. Because again the constituencies get a lifespan of 5 to 7 years. So 2022 9 5 years, 2024 9 7 years. So then guys there they still get time for if you go complete the boundary delimitation if they really want to get their constituencies there and they want for bringing into the plane I have for bring new constituencies. But at the end of the day, the constituencies that we have right now have a lifespan of 5 to 7 years. The constitution make them very clear. Section 38 subsection 4 it said then constituencies they get a lifespan of 5 to 7 years. So some people We know say the Supreme Court, we see the game where they play. They want for use the census as the reason where they verify, say, then you want for use the PR system. And God come up behind the PPRC chairman, that audio day, if you listen to them attentively, like who's like comrade coach player. So right here, it says particularly now where we can use the proportional or the PR system. Although it says subject to what's in the Supreme Court say, it's about particularly now where we can use the PR system. This they tell you say now what they don't discuss, they don't talk at all the institutional heads then level. The PPRC, you look at what in the judiciary they plan now. Because for like take the judiciary, the Supreme Court justice system, this long for come out with a simple interpretation as prescribed by Section 124 or Section 127 of the Constitution, where the Supreme Court get the authority for interpret this Constitution. So for we see don't take them months upon months now for them for come and interpret this Constitution. Then guys, they want for use the PR system. They want for use the census as the basis of them using the PR system to justify it. Parliament, Honorable Cheriko of the APC, and then the Parliament, they've certified the census. They use them, but then come on from the census, comrade. Go to the registration figure. The registration number will pass the census where they get. Not so they tell you say picking them from the census. They say the picking them Bokuna the country. Then when the reports where the registration can now, I must picking and they say register. Not over almost 1,000. But you see all of these figures where they come to pass. And the mayor be do a very thorough breakdown analysis what the mayor do. They will mention say even Freetown they reduce the population because then guys don't set everything and they know what's in the plan how they want for rig the next elections. That is what they're doing. The mayor tell we say Freetown urban, Western area urban, they reduce the population by 42%. Population na Freetown urban they will not say they are around 1.5 to 2 million. They reduce some. Then give they say now over 85 to 500 or something or 600,000 people. They say that in a Western urban. So we just see all the play, but this guy don't show we clearly what's in the Supreme Court, what's in a non-plan at that institutional level. Comrade, don't remind Sierra Leoneans. Waiting the TRC report say. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission make a very clear say the judiciary was the number one cause of the rebel war with the police. The judiciary was the number one cause of the rebel war. The Supreme Court justice system then get a moral obligation for stand.
No, Ibrahim, don't say number one cause. Say the main.
Okay, the main one.
The judiciary and the police and say that the main cause. There are different causes, but the main cause. You know what they say? No, just if I not to say when they say the main cause of anything, now born all the other causes.
Now the primary.
They say the judiciary the main cause. Now the primary cause for the war. Where we can make them cut people hand.
Thank you.
We make them we make them bomb people inside house, burn people there, stone people to death. Where we make them then destroy the entire Colorado state. Where we Abraham the main cause. Imagine they know they even shame say Abraham somebody for shame for even call himself saying a lawyer and a salon.
Come
for let the right when you still wait saying that they bring on a salon.
Absolutely. You know, comrade, absolutely, that's a great point. But comrade, going back into this particular talk here, so that local council election where they mentioned so. You see the same parliaments back, now then go, they accept this government not for conduct local council elections. Honorable Cheriko of the APC party before know the implications of not conducting local council elections. Come on, now go to the councillors them. Now they're not going to make this new law back way for using, when they want to verify this proportional representation because say the laws not be make provision for the local council elections. So the law when they can't go to parliament, so parliament go pass so back. Now you say, okay, the councillor they for work. But councillor they get district, you get committee, ward committees them. They work committee members there, and they work with the local council of them. But this new law when they go pass back the parliament, no make no provision for the committee members them within these districts there. So when they work with them councillors there at the local level. So waiting that this is all
democracy is dying. Democracy is dying as alone technically. The power way democracy give the people and then this government through the help of parliament they pull everybody in hand. Because matter of fact, Ibrahim, we don't get like APC constitution, we don't make a very democratic for even get MP in a constituency and people in the vote for that they want to go represent the parliament.
Thank you.
Ibrahim, that democracy begin from that point. Now, imagine if the APC, the membership can vote for the constituency executive then. Now the membership no will vote for the ruler for representing the parliament.
Absolutely.
How now one complete democracy? And what if the first APC for this constitution say that we go in line with the 1991 constitution, we allow people to participate for let them vote and to be voted for. Ibrahim now the political party executive now people and they vote for them. the constituency people in the history of Salone. And at the World Cup, I think APC set a very bright example for let people in the vote for whether they go represent them by party level. Now the people where they represent their party, they're not gonna vote now for let the MP them, because Ibrahim, to be very honest with you, some man get for court money, but the people at the constituency they know that whether they want for let represent them. Now they don't pull the power on people and say not only they choose MPK, not only they choose council again, because the APC constitution make them very clear say each and every position in the political party, including any position from primary now to any position, should be voted for by the people.
Absolutely.
Now we don't start from lower level. The word executive, the people and vote. The constituency executive, the people and vote. The executive, the people and for vote. Now people are not the game, no guarantee for vote for the MP. Them now they could talk say we APC, we constitution not allow for us to select anybody for win a parliament either election.
Absolutely.
So now the patch and they not patch and they will not say it's electoral for electoral MPs them.
Absolutely.
We according to the APC constitution, the 2022 constitution.
Thank you. Let remind them.
Where they get going to court.
Let remind them.
When they remind them, let them know now say the APC party will not get ready for select any MP for the parliament rather for let them elect you, because the Indian that did the whole for 2 years plus in the court.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You see how on earth when they can't take the right of the people them say, Abraham, imagine if the members of parliament go be arrogant so that they no get respect for we would be saying now they vote for the war. Now they go vote for them. Now not to vote for them anymore. Then they even talk to yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, Ibrahim, how they abuse the constitution blatantly like this.
You know,
they vote for them people, they become cocky. Now they vote for them again. Now they influence the camp and go the APC. We know we need to talk about them. You see some MP they don't go to Kankan constituency because they want to put people them. We go for them tomorrow.
Hey, comrade.
If the people them election and they make somebody, be careful. If you know say they get for vote for me, you don't know they respect the people. But if you know say now I don't vote for me, I just be selected by influence by
comrade.
You don't even care.
They
don't care now. They will care when.
The first wedding at the APC party today, in as much as we need to go inside APC talk, because there is bigger fishes to fry. Waiting at the APC party today, now for them capture at the lower level for make sure say then get the delegates where they go pick them guys they are waiting at the top, where they create all this confusion within the APC as a party from the parliamentary level, and then there where they create this confusion and problem because they want for picking people from the lower level all the way to the top for make sure say they seize and capture the political party. But na lie, Sierra Leone one thing for happening in that country day back. For make sure so we get a decisive moment in that country day. You see, comrade, we always talk about John Jerry Rawlings of Ghana. Ghana they fly high today because they're magical. Ghana they fly high today because of the example where John Jerry Rawlings set. And this is the thing. And comrade, look at this world level again. If these laws, and when they look at the Supreme Court, because this is a violation of we laws in the land, for all get local councillors them, for all get councillors them, they get ward committee members. These ward committee members, the new law where they don't go past the parliament, not make no provision for them. So who did the councillor get for work with? Who did the councillor get for work with? How the councillor go for work with the people left? The councillor not go for cover the whole district by himself. Now we can get ward committee members. Where the ward committee members them? They know the parliament go pass this law. But then guy got they come up behind them because all them things there are the thing that when they pay attention to, where people they pay attention to another country they will they watch una they destroy with democracy. Parliament head and a bet and they talking back. Mother be they go, not to buy halala always no mother be they go. Mother be they go. Now people get for make sure say then do what they for do for them Marabio the right people in the right places, the members of parliament for 4 years. If Marabio destroys Sierra Leone, not by himself. Marabio no puel salon de la everything, economy, all that by himself. He gets enablers, the opposition leaders, them, the members of parliament, they sit down, they watch. Some of these guys want to be presidents today. For 4 years, they not cough. One they not cough. For attack this government, for tell them what they do wrong, the abuses, the economy, the destruction of fiscal policies and all that stuff. And what's happening at the country like today? Marabio destroys Sierra Leone by himself. He destroys them with the help and aid of all of these guys in opposition. You see how they behave now inside the parliament and all of these things. The PPRC chairman don't can tell we this now what they talk at the highest level for say because now then they use the PR system. Now I mean they go after political parties them. But we know say Salon people them. They don't know what they talk anything there. Waiting at the plans where we get. Una ask una members of parliament now. Waiting at the plan where they get. If the Supreme Court come and can't tell we say, then they use PR system where the Constitution make it very clear. Say at the time where we use PR system, now because there was no Constitution for once, And at the same time, there were no constituencies established because the rebel they don't take over the country. Now we make we use PR system. It was a means to an end, just for able to achieve elections. Because the desire in 1996 that for let we get elections. Everybody say elections before peace. Even this Marabio, now they make them go and shoot cut people and then attend in 1996 because he believe say we forget peace first before election. But the people of Salon stand up. They want them team up. They say no. What you want now? Now ain't it happen? You know, we say we want election before peace. Now we make we use the proportional representation system. And now we make Tijan Kabadem, they not be commit a crime. But then come back for say, you know what, we violate the constitution of this country at the time now we can establish constitution.
Ibrahim, when you talk this word there, that remind me, let me tell you, you know, that remind me like who in the field say peace before election was the best choice anyway. But you know why making people be ignorant because the suffering when MPRC, what mean not they happen, they're not fed up from the government. They say, hey, if not even just about a street let them vote today, hence treat the government don't go. Ibrahim, that's no go back. We see this registration we pass with them marginalized people and the people for register. Ibrahim in my history for me one as a law and also people ever really for register aggressively like happy this registration.
Yeah.
Because that tells you the people are not tired. The people when I think for vote don't tardy because Ibrahim, imagine people they wouldn't for the first instance people they complain say why is that they agree for law register. First time they say no, me I know they let me sell for what register. Now they want to register Ibrahim. We see the same thing. When you compare what is the desperation of people for get democracy in 1996 and compare people register because they want to change this bad governance, Ibrahim, you see say problem like when non inside water not the effect for drown anything they want for commodity Ibrahim.
Absolutely. But
let me tell you something. What they talk about parliament. Each and every member of parliament, even the parliament chief, they want to say, all get for pillar prize. Nobody will know the pull panel because not all the votes. But you know why we could specify pan the opposition, especially the main opposition party, Brian? Because we as we talk and time and again say, the formidable party, when I therefore he will see them here and challenge them more. You might not bring it to something a challenge they can't agree for bulldozer. But then too much challenge, the make all man also understands for evidence tomorrow, even for the records. Because if we get for cap, we get for tell me how we challenge Ibrahim for God's sake. This time social media era this whatever thing happen, it on record. But if we are not challenge for Ibrahim, we are not show the level of dissatisfaction, we are not show the resistance, we are just say no, they man they bulldoze, we don't get for Ibrahim. How would they? Matter of fact, everybody participate. For example, this constitution, Ibrahim, they don't commit the same crime.
Absolutely.
And as a fact, all
absolutely.
Of them from Paramount Chief, anybody there under, you will not commit the crime of treason and actually forgive nobody. And everybody, let me tell you something, Ibrahim, until or unless Alongo will take brutal action against people that will be say that then state actors them where they create problem. Salon or for change it, Ibrahim. If there comes a time, we get for left politicians them for no state actors there.
Absolutely.
They want to do it, they make laws when it's blatantly. So then the lawyers then they look at what's in the constitution, they put Canada paper at the eye, then they see that part day, then they put stone and stone at the east, then death for disrespect of to the people of Ibrahim. These are people who need to forgive until they take that action. They put in rolling zone like Ghana in 79, then Ghana 79 for 79 from all the sector or put them. See that they make Ghana to go to life for peace. 10 man the Bambo to be Ibrahim Ghana not to like America or UK, but trust me, then if you look at it, they live better life small because so many people they fly come from abroad, then they fly again.
No.
For Ghana. Remember Ghana been go by peace salon. Now the most salon for Ghana for even educate now the Ghana. We are the Athens of education of West Africa, Ibrahim.
Absolutely.
We are the Athens first country for university, first country for primary school, secondary school to do the come for Ghana. You know, Ibrahim, you see how they blatantly they abuse people intelligence, Ibrahim.
Absolutely.
Blatantly.
Absolutely.
So until we go to that point where they put people in Ibrahim, anything on happen in a saloon, not to the poor one for pay the price, and other than that with the perpetrators. They want to do in the parliament when they go pass bad law, they for the government they get edge. Ibrahim will get one a saloon, I like about and say in around 1965, criminal libel as my guy pass you enough we lose election. Then get them gonna bush, we make they cut people the hand, rape woman there. You know, all the bad to the talk about today, Ibrahim, that they happy.
Absolutely.
Why make now?
Comrade.
Why make Ufos don't look down there, then go past them here, they also don't look them back, ping also they left them. If there no one should go unpunished. No one should go unpunished because then one day if not deal with them people there for like other parts tomorrow if anybody will for Canton flag bearer APC, Canton new flag bearer, someone like my president to go to new PPRC chairman, you did look in the lawsuit. If it's a parliament, you speaker of parliament, you will go to the law. Say, if you're an IG, you need to go and kill people and no more like you want to kill a policeman or soldier man. Everybody will participate within these 5 years. Ibrahim, they are going to pay that price. We must start somewhere, Ibrahim. 1,000 miles begins with a step. We must start somewhere. Salon, not start, but this time we start somewhere. Any leader we can tell say, no, forget. You that leader, the first with the front part. Because only they forget. We'll get for start somewhere for let then say set example for let president follow so that somebody will say, if I do this time, in as much as I IG, I go to jail, or I have been this, then they jail me, or I a judge, or I a lawyer. Everybody, Ibrahim will participate. This Chief Justice, so they watch them. Who come in bail, them, yeah, bail, when I hold a jail for no reason. People that die, protesters and they die inside jail. All this Ibrahim now more that they commit so would they put all to would they bring all to life? No forgiveness only for them. Yeah. State actors when they don't cause alone that is and for stop Ibrahim.
Comrade, waiting salon need strong institutions. No, so my brother, strong institutions. How they get strong institutions? Now the individuals them now they get forget waiting we go call ethics. Therefore, be moral, get high values and standards for make sure say salon better than for we all. Comrade, let's remind the Supreme Court justice system again about this interpretation, the power we then get and the right we then get for interpreting the Constitution. Section 38A, subsection 1. It say at the time when parliamentary elections are announced, at the time, and no constituencies exist, at the time when President Bio announced elections in May of 2022, around that 10 days, whatever time will be announced, constituencies were established. Constituencies then get a lifespan till 2024, then good. At the time, I remind the Supreme Court, at the time when they announced parliamentary elections, if there are no constituencies existing, that is the only time when the president may consult with NEC. The Supreme Court stated today, the proclamation document, the directive from the president to say for use of proportional representation, we not get a letter day, we not get a directive day, we not get an instruction day, nobody not see it today. And they remind the Supreme Court, the justice system, say, hey, the people of Salon, they watch. The people of Salon shall not forgive in times like these.
That reminder of the talk. So all the judges then, if you not support, if they on record,
absolutely
say no. If they on record, if you tell them, then say me and they on record say this way that episode you're wrong. You for they on record. But if you not they on record, Ibrahim, anyone which you don't they, you know they on record or say me being there as judge, but I condemn this thing because you know the law. Trust me, when I did not like the dog, like when I judge them, because everybody, the law is for everyone in Sierra Leone. You're not big pass person, you're not small pass person.
You know, comrade,
it's everyone.
Talking about that, and I can't continue to points there, but talking about that, it reminds me of something. I see a press release from the judiciary of Sierra Leone when they explain why Fisher go lock up Edmond Abu. Section 17 of the Constitution, subsection 3. Now they make it clear for say for bring somebody calm without no evidence or anything within 72 hours. Or not more than 10 days, you for bring them calm in front of the court. But then go lock Edmond Abu for 21 days. Then Fisher, after the 21 days, now they tell you can't sit on the matter. It's a violation of Edmond Abu's right. Waiting at the crime where he commits. If Fisher get evidence, they not for hold Edmond Abu more than 72 hours. They not for hold them more than 10 days. Therefore, bring and calm in front of the court. If there is no evidence to substantiate the crime when they say he commits, therefore let this man loose. Violation, the judiciary with a one. The judiciary was the main cause. The Quaker emphasized that point. The main cause of the rebel war. But again, coming to the Supreme Court justices, we remind you of the Constitution. When I get a responsibility for interpret this Constitution, the Constitution are black and white, not plain English. Not a big deal, not difficult. At the time when the president announced the elections, at the time, if there are no constituencies, when Marabi be the announced parliamentary election, if constituency not be there, now if for consult with NEC commissioner for say they for use the district block system, we get constituencies established. They are working. The Supreme Court justices, there is no way we can justify the PR system. There is no way we can use the census. There is no way we can use the registration numbers. There is no way we can verify anything there other than the fact that we give with the people the constituency-based elections. Come, go ahead for a second. I'll clear quick.
You know, Ibrahim, like I say, this we just tell people and for remind them how far we don't go to this struggle. We not to say we just begin to come. This we don't begin to come from all remember we don't begin to this year from 2020 to be specific, late 2020 to 2021. I believe say from November 2020 now start this stock here. The whole of 2022 intensified, 2022 intensified, we did 2023 now. For the past 3 years, we don't follow this talker consistently say, now pay attention. Them man, they want rig election by changing the election laws them. Now bring Africanist pressed. Instead can open them for be wide. How they might not plan for the election by changing election laws them, bring more laws them, we equal disadvantage the people them. We point all them to our so we do program, but then 1 hour, 30 minutes to general Africanist press to discuss. Then they tell us then they count laws and way they disadvantage people. We'll pick on the NI number, the use of the NCRE during election registration process. We'll talk about the PR system. Everything will be said. People then come, then deny we, then try for we say, na lie, not possible, then they expunge them. When I just fasting, why would they fasting people them? We don't fasting nobody, we just point out in them. We don't fasting nobody for we don't come for example person. Yeah, no. We just point out things them, things will matter. Things will go affect and live them for another 5 years. This who they say then Tiam, who for God's sake, I don't know, you might not let Ibrahim or communicate or cash box. When I look the sincerity, when I watch about the things what they say, things that affect people, their livelihood, astaghfirullah, whatever happen, anything wrong could happen as alone. Every other person they pay the price. People don't pay solid price, so they don't pay their life them inside this first 5 years. When I imagine dollar, as I talked about the dollar don't go 2,020,000.
Yeah.
From 700,000 to 2,020,000 today. Fuel.
Cashbox we don't talk about. Comrade, Cashbox we don't talk about say they reach 25,000.
Now they go so Ibrahim don't go 2,020,000 today. Imagine fuel Ibrahim from 6,000. Them man that they were black and demonstrate. And Monabu didn't just who the talk for so today. They all make more for demonstrate say fuel don't go up 6,000. Therefore make so today fell at 20,000, 21,000. 725,000. We go there up country. Ibrahim rest, man, be way they talk by way they panel presidential debate. Say people are tired of suffering from buying rest from 6,000 in 2007 to 200,000 in 2018. Now not to 10 years. This is 10 year time we talk so. This is just 5 years Ibrahim. Just 5 years. Rest from 200,000 now. Rest almost to 600,000. Ibrahim wala rest as I tell you now to the salon rest as salon 800,000 for bag. They sell 200,000 during 5 years ago. Now 800,000 Ibrahim. So you see, if everything Ibrahim, you know, just check. Cement from 42,000, 45,000 now to 160,000, 140,000. It depends on the distance we did. But then 160,000. I know most like anima. I know most like now because the more the distance and the more the thing they do. Ibrahim. And I recently back say this are the get this thing say cities when they supply restaurant at the last restaurant supply with 600,000. Then they not add another tax to them, so they get for say 700,000 or 750 or 800,000 for bag before we come to election. You know, everything who they talk say if every mistake will happen in politics it affect the livelihood. Hey, if you politics not do if you don't do politics, they do you. If it's in economics, that dirty game. If we allow dirty people to go inside the game, then they can't dirty all. You very right, them dirty you. Then they pass it along today. Yesterday, people in the gate with 10,000 euros. Today, people are even 50,000 euros for cook plazas. 5 years ago, 10,000 euros ago, you can make it fine better for make it fine constantly fit and satisfied. You compare people at 1,000. So they will buy Maggi, you will buy you can cook plazas. Now even 50,000 you not for cook for poor man. Even 50,000 not for poor man Ibrahim. So look at the things what they talk say. For every mistake we did in politics, it affects each and every livelihood in our country. Generations of God will pay the price. Hey boy Ibrahim. Voting left again. If man baby talk say rest at 200,000 in 10 years, now let's go 600,000. Nobody say nothing. That then get all kind of foolish talk. Fear at 6,000. Man baby then say president for explain why. Now fear at 20,000. Even the corona money we don't talk about non-tip and non-tip. The money they spend on this corona, the money government make inside this corona, the former government make inside Ebola because Ebola they cut off the entire country. Nobody they go business to it. Then they make money inside this corona. It's unaccountable to the Ibrahim. So there are lots. If we don't pay attention, but then they talk say, now we force people waiting for challenge for we for our country to this point to this. So $10 not for knowledge to this point to this.
Absolutely.
We see 2020 December Ibrahim. The bank governor can blatantly and tell you say money don't have bank. Money don't do. He repeated in 2021. He repeat every year. He talk and say money don't do. You said the bank governor tell you say he get for bribe $68 million for like get money. He get for bribe. Ibrahim now country law bribery na offense.
Absolutely.
For attempt and self na offense. He say I bribe $68 million for get money. Hey boy Ibrahim, they still keep that money. This man knows be nothing but economy. Then they go put this in bank governor. For when they put that money, Ibrahim na so no more money. Go begin fall today. 800,000 and plus, and they give a loan 2 million. Yeah, Frank, then they give 2 million as a loan.
Wow.
So national level, we don't depreciate. National level, we don't depreciate Ibrahim. Because $100 na Guinea, na less than 1 million. Na less than 1 million, $100. We own $100 today, na 2 million 20,000. Then Ibrahim, even during the war, even AFRC, when the government with them sanction, they get embargo.
Right.
It's a low money. If they still value pass Guinea money, $10,000 and 50,000 franc Guinea. Today, Ibrahim is pathetic. These are things we don't see. But people wait for check government, checks and balance. Ibrahim, now we will get opposition. Now we will get people away there. Let's see, we set them with for the checks and balance. Everybody campaign for good governance. But some person they good governance. Good governance. People no will buy rest for it. Good governance will be say people don't get money for buy bread safe today. Ibrahim, Sunday they buy 3 for 10,000 and 1 for 18,000. Now good governance and Ibrahim. Who said they all of them not on. Then they need to talk things will matter. Ibrahim, every society you need to look at this thing because they all get money in the teeth. We be saying they know the thing they touch them. If you touch them, people pull them. Ibrahim for us stand up. All of them. They not really talk to you matter. Every sector today, they sit on and they even talk to the president where they don't do well. Ibrahim, what thing they hit me up? Every person in say, anyway, the president, that's most animal boy, don't do well. You don't do well. Ibrahim, they kill me. They kill me. President don't do well. People they suffer. They will get food for it. They don't believe they afford for pay transport. He said, don't do well. Nobody is saying these things, Ibrahim. No one is looking at this thing. Look what happened to the audit report. The man blatantly said the president. The man, like you see the way they talk, it's talk with anger. They talk say like say why they forbid even put this president in the office of the president by corruption. Hey boy Ibrahim.
Comrade.
That's forbidden.
Comrade, sorry. Comrade, the way you talk about this guy, why they listen to this Auditor General. You know, as funny as the whole thing is.
No,
but Lord have mercy.
To that guy, not Auditor General. So listen to that guy.
Yeah. Okay, and not true. Let them know more what we talk now. Let them know. That guy where they sit on as Auditor General, we're not supposed for sit on there. Where we not say at this particular point in time that Lara Tilopias, and now we're Auditor General. Comrade, when I listen to that guy they talk, and it goes back to the point where you make about the tribalism. Because the as far as the PR system.
No play this guy. No player. Because
yes.
Also man will listen now.
Yeah.
No player.
Yeah, hold on that player, comrade. Hold on that player.
Okay, I have player.
So we clear them in there. That player. When I listen to this, this is disgusting. With this guy they talk, you know, you can only imagine this guy. What are they fixing in the talk to bar? When I listen.
I think that's why I laid the foundation in explaining the procedures. How does an entity get into the Auditor General's annual report? So it therefore means the required threshold as explained in my preamble when I was introducing this whole talk is that State House and Office of the President and any other institution never met that threshold. Interestingly, it will interest you to know that, and this is what you want. When the 2020 report came out, the Office of the President was the most quote-unquote bombarded office from all sectors of life. When I'm using the word bombarded, because the media was after Office of the President, the non-state actors were after based on the issues that were in there. And remember, there are individuals managing those offices. Individuals are equally there. And what are we yearning for? Is enough implementation of our recommendations. So State House and Office of the Vice President, we say kudos to them. When we did the 2021 audit, and many other institutions, my brother, they adhere at all the stages that I spoke about. One in the field, the little recommendations that were made, they adhere to them. When we issue the draft report, the few recommendations that were there outstanding, they adhere to them. And this is what we want. So if institutions, we are all crying for institutions to start implementing audit recommendation. I think that is the cry of everybody. If ban is cried put down today, it is as a result of non-implementation of audit recommendation. So if institutions have started implementing, I think the good thing that we start doing is probably other institutions that are far behind to now go there and start understanding what was your relationship, how was the management team, how was this team, how were the internal control set up, how far did they take these issues for them to be addressed. That is what we are all yearning for. So it's not only State House, it's not only Office of the President, but we have many more other institutions that actually took our audit work with every seriousness and assess they were able to clear the issues that we raised. That was why State House and Office of the President was not in the 2021 report. But to say we never audited them, no. Even though I explained how institutions can be audited, but they were audited. The reason is simple, probably you have an answer to that. Public interest. Last year, State House, everybody. So we knew that last year, because of people's interest, yes, we audited them. In 2020, it was people's interest. So because everybody is having concern about Office of the President, they will be audited because it's a public office. It is subjected to similar scrutiny, the same scrutiny at all levels.
Comrade, my brother, that just explain small waiting this guy they talk. So we brother and sister them. We let them comprehend the English. In Creole, in other words, waiting this guy they say, they audit the president, but you know miss the requirement for that they include the audit inside the report. They say they go audit the president. They say the president then listen to them from the last audit report. They say the president in office and the vice president then follow all the recommendation them. That all waiting and tell them say, "We'll fix here, we'll make here." They say the president and all of these people then do everything. So when they go look now, then see say, the presidents don't follow all the recommendation from the last audit report. They don't meet the requirements again for them audit them this time. So they audit the president, but they don't audit them. You see, some people, them guy don't take we for idiots. Then guy don't take people like say we all big fool. They say we all stupid.
Equally, the guy talk say, what in Hata. Now the audit report of 2021, we then talk to the president corrupt, we then do forgery. See, now in Hata. So, you know, it's the guy is really showing dissatisfaction. See, all media houses people in the talk, all money to the presidency, to them, it be wrong. Then when the president not be thief nothing by then. You see, Ibrahim, when I look that guy, I say, if you go to make a danger and they hold him, now I can't man, the make a man kill a goal, they don't jail, they had school, and no say that I don't fit. I hold him, I be accused, I kill him publicly, they hold me, then go sentence me, if they kill me, say, they had school.
Comrade. So, you know, this guy, for that guy, they sit down. They talk that way, the way they talk. Like if I say, they talk to people in the 1920s with day, with people and so uncivilized, will not understand nothing.
1920,
absolutely.
Even 1920,
absolutely. Comrade, you know, because you see, this is destructive.
What do you mean about the effect for tax war? This time, I know school.
Yes.
There's no effect for rights. See, we're not for pay tax now.
Absolutely.
Now we home to. Imagine, by what than this thing.
You know, Ibrahim and Comrade, sorry, I don't enjoy.
Right on.
Yeah, go ahead, Kashi.
You know, Comrade, you know, this guy, like which you did talk so, he say the last audit report, he said the office of the president was the most bombarded, you know, office, not the audit report. Ibrahim, when they say like the president forged receipt, were those issues dealt with, Comrade?
Nope.
You know, when we see the issue of the timber, $250 million, there are issues that they don't be dealt with. Nope. It says they get internal control set up them. You know, Ibrahim, you see the danger there. You see some of them guys there. I don't know if they don't sacrifice, if them guys they are really qualified. Because let me tell you, I don't know, there is no way like anybody where they within the accountancy body, the audit body, where for the talk like this, it kind of like still keep in qualification.
No, Kashi, right there, hold it right there, Kashi. This guy not even there with the into side, the body where they supersede all auditors them. Into side.
Definitely not.
He is not a member of into side. Because you remember when the into side. Right, Kashi.
Yes,
remember the inside guy in a BBC where they talk for say any of the members enough for take up that job there? Thank you. Go ahead, Kashi.
Of course not. Ibrahim, because nobody, when a qualified auditor, because in fact, like part of like the audit profession, when you take up role, you get for kind of like go through the old auditor. You must go through like the last auditor. If the last auditor tell you say there is a problem or whatever, you know what, take up that role then. But you see, Ibrahim, the problem we get now in country, you see, that guy they don't sell out. You really feel say people in the grumble say, oh, the dollar is 2 million now. People in the grumble. Oh, look like out in the year, Ibrahim.
No, cash the dollar don't go 2 million 20,000. Your production they can they don't go 2 million 20,000.
Thank you. The trouble in the salon has nothing to do with the Ukraine war. It has nothing to do with the COVID, because as we can say, COVID created opportunities for Africa. Lots of opportunity for Africa. Ibrahim, Asia and South American countries, their food they're cheaper. Because they take advantage of like when the West, even the Asian countries, themselves they suffer, but because they take advantage when the West be they on lockdown. Ibrahim, Africa now we should don't wait for that quantity for make they can give it time, for make they can give it money. We did not take advantage of it. Ibrahim then seen in the cost we country for make them that a sober investor they see a country whose side and they get rid of the auditor general. You go put your money inside it. You guys. Ibrahim, they get this guy they talk say, oh well, they audit the president. Ibrahim, audit report. Not so bad news no more in the take.
No.
So if you audit the office of the president and the vice president,
Sure we.
not to say first you get issues there before you put up inside the audit report. The audit report, not so like we, not so Ariabo when now which man and no boy in the cage.
No. It
you can consider inside it.
Yeah.
So if you audit them, nothing will stop you from stating the things that inside the audit report. Nothing will stop you, Ibrahim.
Gashi.
Go and check inside the audit report. There are lots of things that were good inside it. Ibrahim, you know, and it goes back to, then we can tell some people and say, I don't even want to talk about this audit report. The first thing, first of all, when they do, Ibrahim, go to Roman page 10. I did an audio about this. They're kind of like, these are people that we say, like, they don't write up with that during Pakaba in 10. But now in the audit report, on the Roman page 10, tell we say their debts them go up to 1983. 1983. But yet still, they don't tell we say, like, an Escobar meets a clean white paper, no debts not be there at the country.
Right.
So how you tell we now say debts go up to 1983? Ibrahim, you see that guy there, like what he come when they say, sometimes that guy there, they fit for when you hold their throats, you quiz them. You quiz them. Because this, you know, like, I don't know if that this is the auditor general or the deputy auditor general. I think they're the deputy auditor general.
Right.
Ibrahim, something last night or so.
Yeah.
Ibrahim, this is a distasteful, a disgusting, it kind of like make, you know, you feel for one cry for we country. All that, when they say, oh, they don't build new airports. With this mess, they tell we say, you know, we for glad for the office of the president. Okay, tell me now that the audit report, why we for glad for the audit report. Tell me if the fraud when we take place last year, they don't sort them out. Tell me if the team money where it be teach, they don't sort them out. Tell me this.
Tell me about the double dipping.
But when outstanding in 2019 audit report, Ibrahim, say to date, they haven't mentioned it. Then you tell we say, oh, like there are controls in place, the internal controls were set up, like the office of the president, I mean the most. Can you imagine, Ibrahim?
Gashi, this is the effect of tribalism in a nation. This was what me and communicator we talked earlier. We be on you know. This is the effect of tribalism. You know, see this guy, they play cover cop, they play cover policeman, they cover for the president, they cover for the, because let me tell you, that double dipping, that forgery, that money laundering will be come out last year from Lara Taylor Pierce. They don't get no way for either report today because they know say Lara Taylor Pierce get a copy, and when it goes to the judicial side of things, and eventually one day go hunt them down for say that report will be pulled, be fake, because look at Lara Taylor Pierce be actually report because they know say go get copy somewhere. For can show say look at now this may be pulled, but look what in and show now. So that reports they be more na matter bio
because they reverberate around the world. Then see Salon president, man where they forge, man where they forge receipts, man where they double dip with potential money laundering, and they siphon with money bring and come overseas. There is still to this day, nobody was held accountable. Can they Kela Komoti write an op-ed? He say, one of the people inside the office of the president.
Yes, you're not missing at the president.
You're not missing at the president, but these are the same people they watch the international realm when they go after former presidents them, because again the buck stops with them as the leaders. When Joe Biden and go fend them paper in another think tank, they don't go after the think tank and people already work at the office, so they say that Joe Biden a responsibility. But no, they can switch na the mouth for them kind of thing, and they for talk about what's in the happen at the international world. They will come to Sierra Leone. Can they Kela did protect Madabio? It's still not to the president. Instead of Can they Kela calling for the impeachment of the president using section 51, where they talk about misconduct in the office of the president, for they impeach this man. It's an impeachable offense. For you finding kind of and within the office of the president. If anything, the sanctity, the common sense, the fiscal discipline in the nation, if we begin inside the office of the president and the vice president, Lara Tilopias be supposed for report $250 million, like when you talking about cash box. These guys now they can't tell we say they audit the president he do everything we didn't be recommend last year, Kashi. Then do all thing. Well, why you not show we what and do? Why not show we the $250 million? Okay, you talk so Kashi.
That's the point. Why the $250 million? Why the forgery? Show we in the audit report whose side. The audit report get good news, not only bad news. Not to see the number way like now bad number. No, not also audit report day. Why they not show me the double dipping? The person what did they do? They find out say, oh, liar tell Opias be the lie. Well, that show we. Where is it? Ibrahim, that guy there. If Salon people do not stand up for and take back their country, Ibrahim, and they feel sorry. You see, this is not as a result of state captured of institutions, Ibrahim. Even the audit services has been captured. Papa God. Those guys now bad business we can we aid so Ibrahim. Everything don't be captured. Police so they don't get around. Parliament so they don't get around. Civil society so they don't get around. The bar association okay, get somebody go keep the president. All things don't be captured. Even the single one we don't left now, the audit services. Hey God, the Salon people una expect for make Salon better. Already una say COVID. Una shut up. Nothing. Not got to do with COVID, Ibrahim. This is, self-inflicted pain, Ibrahim.
Absolutely.
But you see people when they come on social media, they talk rubbish. But airports where it be say like they give the cow they hold the rope. Can you imagine, Ibrahim?
We don't do that.
See like something. Then they say, oh, the president don't increase 30% for woman debt.
Hey, my brother.
Papa God.
Kashi,
in any office, we don't get 30%. Like Ibrahim. Oh
Kashi, talking about the airport. We come back to this today. Talking about the airport. We don't establish long-term. Now, extension, I didn't do. They say they had a new terminal. But the same money where they use for add a new terminal, because not a new airport. Lunge Airport is always going to be Lunge International Airport. They say na terminal. They say they add terminal. Maybe say they add terminal because they want to get an extended terminal, and then they add. But they left for go build a new airport, a new city, decentralize the capital city, move people outside. Let we create more employment opportunities outside of Lunge, and let we get at least second airport for once in the country. We're not able to do them inside Sierra Leone. These guys, they can't tell we say, I want a new airport. So go on this day. Not a new airport. It's an extension. We don't know that. I get video on my Facebook page, my YouTube page, and I go see. We don't do a live on that. We don't explain how then guy come and condemn the China project with former President Koroma, then go for make the Mama airport, then condemn them for build a brand new airport. But they take the same money, then go spend and for do an extension. Then they like it today, we don't find out, see, because we don't even see the contract with Parliament, but we don't find out, say, the guy they don't hand over the airport to a Suma group. This is some Turkish guy, them frivolous businessman, then corrupt, business people, them. They don't take over. So whatever they get in out of the union, because whatever deal they go sign with the guy in Sabi, Teti don't see the contract, but the guy they don't take over with the airport, they like it today. And Salon people get for continue for income cost. But this transparency not be there. They don't open to we exactly waiting at the contract to then sign. This they will not know waiting and sign for this Lunge airport. Just like how they don't auction with ferry terminal them, government WAF terminal them, all the terminal and the auction them to them foreigners they are. But again, Kashi, when you look at this Auditor General, this they tell you the root cause of the problem we'll get to in Sierra Leone, that tribalism. This they tell you say section 13B of the Constitution. We talk say Every citizen, you see, then guy they violate the constitution at every turn. And this is why we say again, civic education is the key. Section 13b Kashi tell we point blank. It say every citizen shall cultivate a sense of nationalism and patriotism. And your loyalty should lie to the state, not to your section, ethnic, tribe, region, or any other loyalties. This guy in loyalty is to the president. His loyalty is not to the state. Who is the state? It's the people. Who's government? It's the people. The government derives its legitimacy, its authority, and its power from the people. Section 5, subsection 2 make them very clear. Section 13b tell we as the duties of a citizen. What is your responsibility? Then guy they destroy with institutions them. With democratic institutions are being destroyed. Now the last one, the independency of the Auditor General's office, they don't destroy them. Parliament sit down, then relieve Lara Telopias without the due process. Where it be say, if we go through the Judicial Legal Service Commission, then for do a quick investigation into the matter, then them for come and can make a recommendation to the president. Then at that particular point when they can make a recommendation, say yes, there is case now or case no day. If case no day, the matter squash, Lara Telopias, they continue. And at this point all, Lara Telopias still they inside job. Section 139, all of this, it inside section 139 of the Constitution. Lara Telopias will still be doing a job until the Judicial Legal Service Commission can tell the president, say, okay, there is a case. And that thing now the president, they go consult with Parliament, and upon that point, we then get a directive from the Judicial Legal Service Commission. Now, the president can say, okay, let the Auditor General sit on first. But to this day, the Judicial Legal Service Commission will come back. We not see no documentation, no nothing, anything where they should say they recommend to the presidency Lara Telopias don't commit a crime. All of a sudden, they sit in the whole hearing. We see Lara Telopias then go court one time. Waiting and go for we don't know. They don't bridge all the processes. Parliament sit down and watch all these things. Then they like it today. Tribalism, this guy, because again, they before forget all the henchmen them in every institution. Some people sit down and watch. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission make it very clear. It show we why we get the rebel war. Again, Albert Magai, the father of the tribalism in our country, 1964 to 67, the team we passed us alone, puts many people them over all them positions there, one tribe dominance. We'll talk them here and say, look at the allow they call Mende. They can't call Mende, that's what we call Timni, we call Fula, we call Yaluka. So for right now, look at all the institutions them across the country. Tribalism is at the peak, and tribalism now they make people blind. When you blind, the country don't finish because they don't get the interest of the country again. They get the interest of their leaders. Them blind following. This is what has destroyed Sierra Leone. For that guy can't tell we they insult with intelligence. They look in our eye. It tell we. It say how they audit the president. But because the president they make all the recommendation them, there is no reason for him for including at the audit report. But they audit them. What is the proof that we get for letting say they audit them? This na matter be make and point blank say me man, this na the last year. I know what nothing was me that this report day. Nothing because na campaign time this, na election time don't reach. So that is the baseline I have. So I don't care you for explain this thing, I know explain them, but I know one name na the auditor report this year, this na the last one. Campaign the car elections they come. I know why you hear and say this and that. But no more go announce say money loss. Tell them say 100 million loss. Now so tell them say 200 million loss, 200 billion loss. Tell them all land but me own name, office of the president, the vice president, election on come. No bring we can inside it. This is what's happening. Right,
now you're going to get Salon people back where they argue, like they defend this position. Ibrahim Salon, if we continue this way, and they tell you, now lost generation.
Ebo.
There is no way Salon de Pete, this trajectory where they go so, Ibrahim. It is so pathetic that people can, and they tell people every day, Ibrahim, this thing where we they go through so. Salon people are still they talk. When they say dollar they go to 2 million, 20,000.
Gashi, you don't be doing it.
Still defend say no. So, the government's like they do everything. Una still they go bill for the airport, but yet still they see 2,020,000 the dollar they go to. See where they meet 7,000, Ibrahim. How people, but they go talk saying that COVID and Ukraine, it affects Guinea. In fact, Guinea the exposure to the world, a big pass we own. Now Guinea, Guinea itself like the currency for go so bad. The exposure to the world, Ibrahim, a big pass we own by far. Now therefore be badly affected past Salon. Who side with the syndrome? Everything seems for they go down the routine in the system. They go now airport the full now. the guy with same woman for did 30% of the board. First of all, like, do you have the infrastructure? And such a labi the rape, so you don't talk nothing. You talk about like 30% of women then, just for kind of like how full people like Ibrahim. Then people like then they follow that. How an auditor general, deputy auditor general, they come and defend a president like this? They turn campaign manager for the president. God, Osai Salon don't reach. Osai Salon don't dare. Why is it that, like it's like I say, show me your leader. Now, so you don't tell, show me your leader. I will tell you now how the people are there. Salon people, we open with two ball. I beg so. We allow, not only we don't make mistake for allow a man be president, now we allow a man big fool, we insult with intelligence to the highest degree. Thank God. Whose kind of wickedness this? Whose kind of wickedness this? When you look at a nation, when it was once called the anthems of Africa, we sit down, we watch.
Absolutely.
The Alaki whistle. Madam, you the big fool whistle. Whose kind of life, whose kind of society where we build, for God's sake?
Absolutely.
And we get people that were willing, they will go take their leprosy and they vote for Madam you.
But Kashi, let's play this into side.
And they came from
the interview. Let's play Yeri where this guy they talk, the into side guy where they talk. Let's play.
So you mean you haven't given her a chance yet? Shouldn't that have happened already?
Matter of fact, I play the whole thing, Kashi. It's long, but I play them. It's gonna take about 8, 9, 10 minutes here. Kashi, let's play them. Let people in Yeri. Let them listen. Let some people listen. Now 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. Come ready do to it. 10 minutes. Be we. Yes. Be we.
You the group, or you want to send her quickly, please.
Oh, okay. Let's send her quick. Okay.
I listen.
Got you, comrade. Okay, I just listen. Okay. Yes. Let's send her quick. And then I can play them. Let people in Yeri. Let them listen to that BBC interview back. Let them refresh their memory.
This is a BBC deal.
A BBC.
People, when people do their due diligence about Salon, this is what they say.
Absolutely.
We're not going to fool the people in a salon no more. We're not going to fool them. Angry and I go kill you now. Angry and I go kill you now. Because when people are investors, they want to come. If you have no country, they thrive without an investment flow. No country. When they see that in there, now this then they check. Not so they Kakabelen use them as salon and they go follow. No, absolutely. They follow this thing, they kind of there. That the international world.
Absolutely.
Into Saigo don't tell you that say they sack auditor general. When I expect people ever go put their money.
Absolutely.
When I go tender on a bridge. When I go tender, say una hand they all tender. When I go tender, una grace for gonna salon. Now only big fool in your dodgy pussy. Now they go put him money in a salon right now.
Kashi, because I don't reach our place. It kind of it's not as fast because it's about 59 megabytes. But I saw Agua.
No, you can play. Just play.
Okay.
You can catch up on it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's when I listen to what BBC say about this whole thing. Now listen.
Investigation into accusations of wrongdoing. There were howls of protest, and they came from a wide array of voices, including civil society and the National Auditors Group. Even an international umbrella group of state auditors described the action as backsliding of democracy. What has shocked most, though, is that no one said exactly what the Auditor General did wrong. So I put that question to the Information Minister, Mohammed Swari.
We have received various allegations of unprofessionalism and sundry other offences, including breaches of Public Financial Management Act of 2016, Fiscal Management and Accountability Act of 2017, amongst others.
You've quoted a number of acts there. What exactly are you alleging she's done wrong, specifically?
This is exactly the reason why His Excellency the President has set up a competent 3-member tribunal to look into the various allegations I've just leveled. We are confident that tribunal will be independent, will be fair and just to the duo who will be appearing before it.
I appreciate you talking about this tribunal that you're setting up, but you still haven't answered the question, what exactly is she being accused of? Because nobody is suspended from a job without giving them a reason as to why they're actually suspended.
I have stated that there have been various allegations of unprofessionalism leveled against the duo, ranging from breaches of the Public Financial Management Act of 2016, the Fiscal Management and Responsibility Act of 2017, amongst others. And it is exactly to unravel, to open up these allegations, that a competent tribunal has been set up, and where Madam Lara and the other gentleman will have a fair and transparent process before the tribunal.
Say they will have their fair trial. Usually people are suspended having been told what exactly they have done, not just told you're suspended and a tribunal has now been set up. So has she been afforded that courtesy? If not, why not?
The broad framework of the allegations have been made known to them, that for professionalism or their lack thereof, following the receipt of various allegations, that is why this action has now been taken. So, there is a clear idea of where this is leading to.
Not really, actually. When you say lack of professionalism, that can be anything and everything. So I don't think it's clear at all. Before you suspended her and gave her this letter out of the blue, we're talking about the Auditor General. We're talking about the person who is looking over the finances of the whole government, and you have to be very specific about what exactly you think this person has done before they're dismissed.
It is on that basis she has not been terminated, she has not been dismissed from her job, because the allegations have been persistent and because they are serious. That is why we have put together this tribunal, following due process, to ensure that she gets her day before the tribunal so that she could respond to the various allegations. It's also important, while we recognize the importance of the Office of the Auditor General, for which we have given a lot of support since we came in, unprecedented support compared to all other governments before us. So this government's appetite for transparency and accountability has not waned at all.
When you talk about that accountability in any kind of just and fair society, you do give that chance to respond. So when you made these allegations against her, what was her response?
Well, she will have the right and appropriate opportunity to respond before the tribunal as provided for under the Constitution of Sierra Leone.
So you mean you haven't given her a chance yet? Shouldn't that have happened already?
Well, she has officially been informed. She has been notified. So after that, she will have an opportunity to exculpate herself before the commissions, before the tribunal that has been set up by professionals who have had an average of over 60 years jurisprudence in Sierra Leone. The chairperson was a Supreme Court judge. She retired last year unblemished. So she brings to the table a lot of experience. The other two are also qualified justices of the Supreme Court. So you can be sure they will not mortgage their integrity for anything.
You say that, and yet one of the senior lawyers, you say you've appointed this tribunal, but a senior lawyer has now resigned from her position. She's the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, says it's wrong for this tribunal to have been established without first allowing them to determine what's a valid case for the Auditor General to answer.
I'm not a member of the JLSC. I've also read on social media the reasons for her resignation. But one thing remains constant. As government, we have no interest in interfering with due process. The duo will have a fair opportunity to represent themselves before the tribunal.
Now, there are some who say the timing of this action is rather suspect because the annual national audit is due soon. So is there something in this audit that the Auditor General was working on that she was going to report on that could be damaging to powerful people in the country, for instance, even the president?
Well, the same people would have said similar things if the audits were, if this thing happened before now, they would have said they do not want her to audit their accounts. So either way, there will be some kind of conspiracy theory here and there. We are sure our government's credentials when it comes to accountability and probity remain very stellar. So we are doing well and will continue to push the boundaries.
Accountability and stellar performance have also been said about Ms. Lara Taylor-Pierce. She's highly commended, respected, both nationally in Sierra Leone.
Because Mrs. Lara Taylor-Pierce enjoys widespread support for her professionalism. The local association of auditors has asked its members not to accept the job if it's offered to any of them. And now the International Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions, also known as INTOSAI, has come out in support of her. Einar Gorison heads INTOSAI's development initiative. So who signed the letter and what do they want the government of Sierra Leone to do?
The letter is co-signed by three parties: Secretary General of the International Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions, by myself as the head of the INTOSAI Development Initiative, and by the head senior executive officer of the African Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions. The background for the letter is, of course, the untimely suspension of the Auditor General and Deputy Auditor General of Sierra Leone, something that we take extremely seriously, as independent government auditing and oversight is a cornerstone of democracy and adherence to the rule of law. And we believe strongly that the recent developments appear both opportunistic and politically motivated, throwing this into jeopardy, given the fact that this is happening just before the launch of the 2020 audit report.
And what do you want the government of Sierra Leone to do?
Well, we are asking for them to reinstate both the Auditor General and the Deputy Auditor General immediately. And we are also rallying behind the calls from both the national and international civil society organizations, academia, professional accountancy organizations, and citizens who have called for the same. We also hope that development partners and donors in Sierra Leone will rally behind this.
Well, the government of Sierra Leone has instituted a panel to investigate Ms. Lara Taylor Pierce. Shouldn't you be waiting to hear what that particular panel finds first?
She was suspended before the panel was actually established. And none of the reasons that have come forth so far in terms of her misconduct and performance indicates that it is any gross misconduct of her duty, which is what is basically there for her sacking in the Constitution.
But the government is investigating a civil servant. It has the right to do that, surely? Or are you implying, or by your action, saying that the government of Sierra Leone has no basis upon which to be suspicious of anything that Ms. Lara Taylor Pierce may have done?
Obviously, the government has the right to investigate its civil servants. At the same time, for a supreme audit institution like the Audit Office of Sierra Leone to be independent, the Auditor General needs to have immunity in the discharge of her duties. And we have principles guarding best practices for independent supreme audit institutions. And as I said, we have not seen anything in the arguments that have been put forward suggesting gross misconduct. So we would also like the government to actually come out in the open with the reasons and the rationale behind this.
And are you suspicious of the government in this regard? Do you think that they have no reason or no basis?
Well, having known Lara and her high standing and her track records, I'm in no doubt that she is a person of incredible integrity and courage. We've seen her over many years challenging the government through her investigations and audit reports. And as I said, the timing of this, just ahead of the release of the 2020 audit report, where also stories that have been in the media of Sierra Leone suggest that there is corruption and mismanagement, is highly opportunistic and suspicious.
You've made a very strong call here. Why are you taking it so seriously as the International Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions?
We are unfortunately seeing around the world that democratic backsliding is happening in a lot of countries, and that the audit offices and independent oversight is being challenged increasingly. So for us, it's extremely important to fight for the principles of independent oversight and be very clear on what we expect in terms of that. And for us, what is happening now in Sierra Leone, as I said, is extremely concerning.
So what are the implications for Sierra Leone if the government refuses to budge?
Well, if the Auditor General is ultimately fired, I think it sends a very strong signal that in Sierra Leone, independent oversight is not welcomed. And also, reporting from the media of Sierra Leone, it's very clear to us that the audit service basically stands out as one of the few organizations that still have managed to remain independent and provide independent oversight during these years. So I think it would send a very, very strong and bad signal.
That's Ena Gorison from the International Organization of Supreme Audit Institutions. And we approached the government of Sierra Leone for a response, and a spokesperson told us, said they'd rather wait for the official investigation to conclude before responding.
Comrade Kashi, that ends the BBC report at the time when Lara Taylor Pierce was fired unconstitutionally. Kashi and Comrade, we did 1 hour 22 minutes. Kashi, you are for a few more time.
I think we should just end it here, Ibrahim. Absolutely. Let the people at times let we all ponder on some of them things they are. Sit now with quiet moments and think about the words they are. And this, as we say, Ibrahim, that they're responsible for the destruction of we country. Nothing to do with like Ukraine, Russia war or COVID. If anything, a lot of people go realize when they say COVID created opportunities for us, but not it was supposed to be like a blessing to us, but we did not take advantage of it. It is because of the thing they are that it make we not take advantage of it, Ibrahim.
Absolutely. Kashi, like I can say, confidence, that's all reputation is priceless.
Yeah.
Your reputation precedes you.
Yeah.
Your reputation,
Absolutely.
and people they hear and see before they even see you. Reputation matters. Your reputation, it matters. Marabio, they destroy with reputation. That when they go out, they go and talk over the way, and it's Kuruma APC, they destroy, they give bad reputation. Then why they're nasty with reputation. It's nasty at this particular point.
Nasty. China na want give we loan so for bill, like now loan them want give we for bill airport.
Absolutely.
Now they wire. Now somebody bill up for we they get for one up on we behalf until they make the money.
Yes.
We now you know Ibrahim anyway no left for the
and then there was no transparency. The kind of a level of transparency.
They don't even tell me. They don't even tell me. We don't even see documents.
Nothing.
We don't even see documents. When Alex Komaka it tell me but like the money, the contracts were out and all that. This one, when they show me documents back.
Yeah.
We have to go ask for the document. That's it. Then comrade left England. He go for the Madam office to go ask him.
Kashi, comrade. When that revelation comes, John Jerry Rawlings of Ghana, may God bless her. Ghanaians, them, I'm sure they are grateful today. Salon, we are waiting. Opposition, leadership, all of them. All of them. All of them. We need a serious revolution. You got it, go ahead.
Were there pre-ops yesterday?
Yeah.
Few, about three or four.
The variant wasn't calibrated.
Yesterday? Oh man.
I did it today. It says the 18th and today.
Somebody took it off. I'll check it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wanted to come to you,
absolutely.
Yeah, Ibrahim, I think because you don't reach, let me just end.
Absolutely, guys. But Umaru Fofana Kashi, you listen Umaru Fofana in BBC interview.
Oh my God, it's disgusting. You see that? It kind of like go back. Imagine this that scene where we talk about. You know when somebody that vice president will go big back.
Absolutely. Vice Chancellor.
You know, was it MMC or so?
Milton
like
Magai,
again, the same thing, Ibrahim.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Remember, they talk about 30%. I don't see the happen. And this is somebody we go report the case. What's it happen? They get rid of the whistleblower.
They can find the video in there. I go share them back on social media. Have you done do the analysis there? Anyways, okay. All right. We're left for now. Bye bye, everybody. All right.
Okay.
Catch you, coverage. Well, I'll join you back, yeah.